You may or you may not have seen a video from me yesterday. I think it's something to do with talking about the release of Christ's light upon the planet. And if you tune into that video, I'm sure you'll discern a certain hyperactivity, raised energy, and that was coming from a separate self reacting to this enormous release of Christ light that is flooding planet Earth right now. It stirred up something in me that wasn't resolved yet, and you could call it hyperactive. It's just a nice easy way. And imbalanced. And so as I was listening to all of the dictations from the conference, which were all just so inspiring and, really, really uplifting, and it just felt such surge of energy to, really unleash my creative drive. And visions have come already for, projects that I want to work on, and the first one involves, being very quiet. It's actually good. It's going to take me within. Because I can be very, very outgoing. So Gautama's teaching, he talks about creativity, about us coming to realize, that we have held back our creativity, and now's the time to just allow that creativity to come through. And I feel so unrestricted in it. I'm really beginning to attune and realize, I can do whatever I want. I feel so incredibly inspired. But what happened was I became very unbalanced in response to the energy, and all of a sudden it was like I was picking up on so many creative impulses, and I just was reacting to every single one of those, wanting to do everything, like be everywhere, do everything, create everything, and it just became this overload, and my energy was, so heightened. And then I just came back to Gautama's teaching, and as he's talking about the, getting in touch with your creativity and allowing that to flow, and then he just so subtly shifts gears and takes you into the silence. And what I see now, it's like, he said, receive that impulse, let that impulse come through, and then go into that silence before releasing it. Just go into that silent space and sit with it. And in that space, you're attuning with your I am presence, or with the Master, Christ Self, as above. And you're becoming so below. Then release. Let that creativity flow through. Then back into silence, into that still space. And already that's sort of instantly helped me to come into that balance that I was needing. And Gautama talks about how a lot of artists are very, can be very imbalanced, wanting to challenge the world and, shock people almost. And And I just, yeah, it's funny, the last few weeks I've had this sense that I incarnated as Oscar Wilde. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, maybe I was some other writer of some description, I don't know. But I certainly relate, or just fully relate to this particular embodiment. And I love Oscar Wilde's stories. You know, The Happy Prince is like my favourite, has always been my favourite story. It's just the most beautiful one. But he was very imbalanced and you know, and you know, almost a bit sort of shocking too sometimes. And so I really see that, and I've been through that in this lifetime too. Like, you know, just yeah, a large portion of my life when I was a bit younger, you know, was trying to shock people, you know, shock people out of their comfort zones. And, you know, I probably continue that on to a subtler extent to now. But I'm really just seeing the value in just coming into this space of stillness and silence, and to let the creativity come from there. It just makes perfect sense. And if there's nothing else I can share with you, that's what I would like to share with you today. To attune with that creative flow, and then also to balance it with that stillness. You know, it's this perfect integration of the rays and balance and equilibrium.